Today, I'm going to talk about the new subscription model that's coming to Strava. 9.37 miles, 8 minutes, 47 seconds per mile, 140 beats per minute today. Taking it relatively easy today, except for a little part of the run today where I did a little bit of segment hunting. Now that's something that I normally haven't really done a lot before. I mean, I've noticed that segments are there and then you could get, either set PRs for your different segments on your runs that you go on, or even try to get on leaderboards, but it's not something I've really been all that interested in when I had, races to train for and run commutes to hurry up and make it to work on time, or just hurry up and make it to pick up the girls from school on time. But now where the lakefront's closed, there's no races, it's kind of the closest thing that I have right now to racing. And what I like about them is that they're really short. So the segment for today was a 0.45 mile stretch. The direction that I took it on happened to be a little bit uphill. So I'm even thinking about reversing my route at least a couple of times just to see how fast I could really go on that segment. Something that is like pretty common, I think, everywhere, but especially along the lakefront in Chicago, where a lot of people do running in this area, is to secret race. And so the idea is that you find someone like ahead of you that is running a certain pace and you see if you can run faster than them. Not like aggressively like going shoulder to shoulder racing, but just to see and size people up. It's something that I am definitely guilty of doing, and something that I enjoy doing. And segments are kind of like the digital equivalent of that. Not nearly as fun or satisfying, but it is kind of interesting to see I can sort the way that I can look at those leaderboards based on overall leaderboards, based on people that I follow or people that are in my different run groups that I am a member of. That's been pretty interesting for me to see. Although I'm not sure if that's all going to go away. So with this new subscription model, something that Strava is doing is they're getting rid of the old different summit packs. Now that was something that they introduced a little while ago that was always super confusing to me and something I never really participated in. And taking a look at some of the changes that are coming up, it looks like the summit packs are going away and it's just you either subscribe or you don't. There's only one level now. Which makes a lot more sense to me. Some of the route building tools are either going to go away or any updates are only going to be visible to subscribers. And the training plans and the training analytics that you might be able to take a deeper dive into, those things are going to either go away and go behind the paywall, or updates are going to be only to the paywall or behind the paywall subscribers. A lot of those things I don't really use. I haven't really used the route builder all that much. Mainly because it's not available, I don't think, it hasn't been available on mobile. Although one of the updates they're going to bring to the subscribers is the ability to do some route building on mobile, I believe. But the main thing that a lot of people seem to be very concerned about when they're talking about this new subscription model, and in terms of the things that were free that they're now going to put into subscription, is access to the leaderboards. And so you'll still be able to see leaderboard top 10s. But I think a lot of the other stuff is going to go behind the paywall. Now, my understanding was that these changes were effective pretty much immediately, but my view of the Strava app is a little bit more mixed. There are some times where I'm still seeing branding for Summit, which is the previous subscription models, and I'm still seeing offers for a 30-day trial, which was tied to the Summit and the previous subscription model. With the new subscription model, they're trying to soften the blow a little bit by offering 60-day subscriptions. So that's a little bit confusing to me. And a lot of times when I'm clicking on stuff that looks like it's behind a paywall, it's saying subscribe to Summit to be able to see these features. So my research so far, like the impact has been a little bit confusing. I never really dug deep into segments. I never really dug deep into the analytics, comparing previous runs, things like that, which are now going to be behind the paywall. So I don't really have a huge place to compare it from, except that my point of view is probably going to be similar to a lot of you guys out there who aren't subscribing and are worried, is my favorite running app now going to be like not worth using, or is it going to deter a lot of other new runners or new users from joining the platform whose primary benefit is that there's two main benefits. One, it can collect your data from no matter what device you're using, whether you're using a phone, an Apple Watch, a GPS watch, whatever it is. You can always get everything to Strava. That's always been its core strength in my mind. And the other main strength being that it's free to use. And so everyone's there. And so that's something that a lot of people are concerned about. I think for those of you who are there for the social network aspect of it and that use Strava as just a data aggregator, like no matter what device you're using, everything pushes to Strava, I think you're going to be fine. I think I'm going to be fine too, continuing to use just the free model. There's a lot of stuff that's very useful. If you were already using it in Strava, now it's behind a paywall, it's probably worth it for you if that's what you've been using to continue using those features, but not paying for it. It's going to be about $60 a year, I think, in the US. But if you're getting that kind of stuff, and I use Polar Flow because I'm in the Polar ecosystem right now, and I really like the way I can chop up and move data there and analyze my training there. And that's free with the watch or free with using that ecosystem. And so I don't really feel like I'm affected by some of the changes that are happening at Strava. Some of the new things that are going to be coming to all users, though, which are pretty exciting, is that now I think they're going back to a purely chronological timeline, or almost purely chronological timeline. You can set favorites. So certain athletes that you want to make sure you always see the kind of their stuff, even if you didn't happen to look at Strava at the right moment in time when they post their activity, will still kind of bubble up to the top, which is, I think, pretty useful. They're going to now make it easier for, and I think some of these features we've already been seeing the last couple of months, make it easier to see who are the Strava wankers out there, because not only will your run time be posted, but your elapsed time is going to be visible as well. So those of you who are having long pauses in the middle of your 5Ks, watch out. And they're always they've been improving the algorithm for detecting false or erroneous, like King of the Mountain or course records. So sometimes people will have weird GPS issues. I've run into that too. So where, like, I remember when I was running with my phone, it would tell me that I've run like 3-minute miles in a row because of the way that the GPS signal is just bouncing all over the place. So things like that, I think it's going to be doing a better job of detecting and removing those results from leaderboards if you are really concerned about that kind of thing. I'm only starting to really get into that now. So like those are interesting things to me, but it hasn't been an integral part of my Strava experience for the past several years. I was just looking at some of my numbers in it the other day, and so far I've logged over 8,000 miles in Strava. Not necessarily recording with the Strava app each activity, but pushing all my data to Strava. So I've been in there for a little while, and not being a paid, I'm not endorsing that everyone should never pay for the subscription. I think for a lot of people, it's going to make a lot of sense. I'm thinking that I'm probably going to subscribe to it as well because I've been using it so much. But you can certainly get a really interesting and satisfying experience from Strava, even if you're just staying at that base level. So I'll post links to the description below to the letter from people at Strava explaining all these changes and their rationale if you want to get deeper into it. And I'll also post their news announcement about it, talking more specifically in detail in terms of what's new that's going to be behind the paywall, what used to be free that's moving to behind the paywall, and what are the things that are going to be available to everyone no matter what, in case you want a little bit more detail on that. But I just want to go over some of the things that I thought were interesting because I've been seeing some chatter happening in Instagram and in Twitter. So I thought it'd be worth making a video about it. If you have any other questions, feel free to put them in the comments down below. I'd love to talk to you guys about a little bit more down there. That's all I have for today, everybody. Thanks so much for making it all the way to the end of the video. Hope you guys are staying safe out there on your runs and your rides. And I will see you guys in the next one.
Yo, what's going on?